So I want to thank everybody for coming, and I want to thank NAFA for hosting this event. And I also want to encourage everyone to attend the town hall event that NAFA will be holding. When is that, Tom? Do you know when that is?
That's on Tuesday, April 7th. I'll give you the exact time.
You will. Yeah, on the initial email, it came, and the reason I'm encouraging that is on the 29th, Cuomo put out something regarding insurance companies, and if people have financial hardship, they can delay their life insurance and annuity premiums for up to 90 days. Very big thing. It should be discussed at the town hall. I don't know all the details. I don't know all the ramifications. So I just want to say it's very important that we know and stay current in our industry as to what's going on and what our duties are. First off, I hope that everyone and their family are healthy and everybody's taking precautions. This is very serious. This is a crazy time, one I've never lived through, one none of us have ever lived through. Maybe Richard, he's been around a while, but it's pretty crazy out there. In order to survive and thrive in this business, everyone has to adapt and understand the circumstances and has to evolve. COVID-19 has presented major challenges, not to every business, but to our business as well. Insurance companies are facing unique challenges, and I want to discuss them today. The first one is getting parameds done for the client. Many paramed offices across the country are shutting down. Secondly, I would say most clients are very uncomfortable with having someone seeing them at this time and taking medicals. The second thing is that getting doctor's records is increasingly becoming more difficult because obtaining APSs from doctor's offices that are closing and all the chaos going on has become extremely challenging right now. And finally, some of the other things that are happening in the industry, and something I want New York State to take hold of, is due to the zero interest rate environment and New York reserve requirement on insurance, I can foresee more New York companies leaving this state. I think New York State has to, and at the town hall, I hope that we start addressing that because we are at a very serious situation. In fact, RiverSource, if you guys are familiar, that's an Ameriprise life company, has suspended all life sales in New York for the next 30 days. Now, what are the insurance companies doing about it? And here's the positive steps insurance companies are doing. Many insurance companies have eliminated paramed and fluids. Some firms as much as 3 million. I saw a firm yesterday as much as 5 million without any blood or medical. They're relying heavily on big data, which is something they have been doing for years, but now their hand has been forced to really use as much big data and medical records as possible. Also, more insurance companies are taking electronic applications, allowing us to sell from remotely and to do a Zoom conference and to sell that way. These changes make it much easier for an agent to conduct business and less stress on the client, and we see them as very positive. What you can do as an agent or anybody in the force is encourage your clients who are interested in buying insurance, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, to go onto their portals, their doctors' portals, and get their records if you can. Now more than ever, it's increasingly hard. In order to facilitate the movement of life insurance, we all got to play a big part. So here's the opportunities for an agent today. Number one, engage with your client. They have more concerns than ever, and many of them are at home. They want to hear from you. They want to hear a calming voice. They like hearing you, and most clients, like I said, are accessible. They will appreciate your call more than ever. Give guidance. First off, be compassionate and give guidance, not just on insurance matters and everything else or investment matters, but small business loans, delaying of insurance payments, all these different things that may be going through their financial crisis mind, help them along with. Be that leader right now. It's also a great time to build potential clients in the future with their family members and their friends and similar businesses. And one idea that you might want to have, if you do a lot of work, let's say with small businesses, is do a webinar for those small businesses. Let them all address their concerns. The biggest concern now is, for me, was I'm working remote, as is my staff. You know, making those transitional changes is important to everybody. So I think that's the get digital. You know, it was like, who's ahead of the curve? Well, we're on the curve and we're getting past our curve. If you don't get digital and you don't start using the computer and working with the tools we have now, you will be out of the curve. You know, you have to get digital now. As a matter of fact, there's 3 different birds. There's the ostrich that's had his head in the sand. Okay, then you have the chicken with the head cut off, and people are confused. Then you have the eagles. Now's the time to be an eagle. Now's the time to soar. Now, in 2025, we're going to have the estate tax revision again. It's going to sunset. I guarantee you, everybody in this room, that estate taxes are going to come down. We are in more debt than ever. Pre-virus, the Democrats and Congress were talking about taking it down to 3.5 million. 3.5 million per person, which will create 1 trillion in taxes. That is huge. And as our deficits are growing, they're going to be looking for money, and I'm pretty sure this could be partial quick fix. As we go down the road, not only is that decrease, but we have the biggest exemptions now to put money into life insurance, the biggest estate tax exemptions. It's time to talking about their estate and other things as well. People still need life insurance. It's a tremendous hedge against the stock market losses. Insurance companies are making it easier to obtain. And with all that, we have Rich Weylman here to speak to you. Rich is an expert in the insurance industry for 30 years, helping you engage in your clients, helping you talk to your clients, teaching you how to talk in the right way, and to help you maintain and grow your database. And with no further ado, Rich, take it away.
Well, thank you, Neil, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak to all of you today. Our topic is how do you retain business when this is over? And what to say now and why, because it all begins now. I've been through, this is the 4th crisis I've been through financially. 97, of course, 2002, which was a real blow up, and then 9/11, and some of my wirehouse clients, well, don't forget 16, Richard. Well, okay. But the truth is we've had 4 major meltdowns since 97. Now, obviously, we've never had to deal with the virus before, but I can tell you at the end of 9/11, 37% of advisors, hear that number, had not talked to their clients within 6 months of 9/11. Just think about that number. And I will tell you, when this crisis is over, and I'm hearing from people all over the country, we're going to have a full-on new household acquisition war. There is no way these insurance companies, annuity companies, and wirehouses they cannot rebuild their revenue off the market or off interest. The bottom line is every CEO I've talked to, and it's more than a dozen, everyone has said what we're going to have to do is take in new households and take them away from advisors who are complacent. And that's exactly what happened in each of the other 3 that I articulated where we've had meltdowns. So my objective today is to clarify for you what clients and prospects want right now and give you the words, the psychological triggers, and the tips needed to communicate with authority. And you are their authority. Now you might say, well, Richard, I sold them life insurance. They're fine. Well, I can tell you they're not fine. I've been on many, many calls, and when I got to the Q&A, and I don't know that we'll have time today because I do have a hard stop, or you can send it through the chat, but I'll just mention one. I talked to an organization down in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania a couple of days ago. We got the Q&A. The first thing the guy said, he said, yeah, my client asked me if our insurance company was going under. And this was Mass Mutual.
Oh, wow.
And you know why they're worried? Because if anybody's watching anything on the media, they're talking all about financial institutions are in crisis. Some will fail. I don't know if you saw the report this morning, but now they're concerned about the banks in the Midwest where you can go in and you get your loans, et cetera. But some banks are short on cash. I don't know what that really means, but I can tell you what it means to the consumer. Oh my God, I need to get down there and get my money out of the bank. So the reality is that it doesn't matter whether you're selling investments or insurance. If you're in the financial business, the reality is you're their authority. You're the person that they look to make sense of it all. Now, there's been a lot posted on LinkedIn and all over, and I watch these insurance companies, and I don't know who these people are. I mean, people who hold them out to be so-called gurus. I've been doing this a long time. We're a research-based consulting firm, and I will tell you, the truth of the matter is, all this posting about you should be communicating so you can prove your value as an advisor, I mean, that might be important to you, but I'll tell you what's important to your clients. They want to feel valued by you. That's the topic. So you have to communicate live with both clients and prospects, and I'll mention that in a little bit, by telephone. You can do, people say, I'm going to do it by Skype. Okay, you got to send an email. They got to open it. They got to decide they're going to download it. And here we are falling down a flight of stairs. But if you pick up the phone, and Neil mentioned this, everybody is home for the most part. You can reach people. I can tell you, I got a wirehouse that called all day Saturday and all afternoon Sunday till 8 o'clock at night, trying to reach as many clients as possible because they know what's going to happen. So communicating live with your clients it proves to them that you value them. Now, everybody's focused on the now, and good God, it's horrific. So, and we all know that. I mean, it's terrific in New York State, and it's not just New York, it's New Jersey, it's Connecticut, it's Louisiana, et cetera. And a lot of people, now I'm in Florida. I didn't intend to be in Florida. I live in Honolulu. I do have a home in Florida, but I was trying to get home to my family, but I was caught at a board meeting, got out really late, went to the airport, and Hawaii had closed their borders. So I can't go home probably till June. So my family's in Honolulu. I'm here. They told me I can't come home at least until May 10th, but we think it's going to be June. So I'm here, and my family's, I mean, they're fine, and everybody is carrying something right now in terms of stress and burden that they have. But that can't be a reason not to call people. I can tell you, people can handle bad news. But what they will not tolerate is complacency or being taken for granted. And I'm getting emails, I want to know what my firm is doing. Who cares? Most of their emails are CYA emails. It has everything to do with what you're doing, you as the individual advisor, to personally communicate with your clients live. After all, at that kitchen table, I handed you the check. I gave it to you. I believed in you, and I believed everything you said. So the truth of the matter is, if you really think about it, what people have a need for, well, I'll just give you, I got this from a guy. He's in the top, let me look. He's in the top 15 on the Barron's list. I did a call for him on Monday. Richard, thanks for your time yesterday. I value your concern, guidance, friendship, and the words are magic. As usual, your session got me thinking. I've already changed my client conversations based on your counsel. I've had many long but meaningful discussions today, and many have said they've decided they're going to move all their assets to me. Because today people have need at this time to have meaning and significance to you as an advisor, and you care about them. This is the level of emotional security that people are looking for right now. Now, some advisors say, well, I think my clients are fine. Only a few have called me. And besides, I've emailed them all. I've got those emails from advisors. Well, I can tell you, anybody who believes no news is good news, or the guy's got a $10,000 term policy, why should I bother with him? Because the truth of the matter is people are going to run to protection when this is over. I talked to the head of an annuity company last night. He called me at 11:30 at night. He wants me to do 12 of these calls and wants 1,000 people that are clients of theirs, advisors on the call. Why? Because they know people are going to run this, and they are, and they're going to buy whole life policies because the inside cash buildup. To think that a portfolio manager can tell you where this market's going today, that's a laughable idea. So the truth is, people are going to run to safety. And this guy with $10,000 term policy, he may be at the bottom of your book, but the truth of the matter is, no news is not good news. Anybody you don't talk to, enormous risk. because proactive live communication is the only way you can strengthen relationships and build people of mind. Nothing wrong with an email, but it's a passive communication tool and it does not provide interaction in real time. So let's never forget, how'd you build your practice? You built it because you're so good at relating to people. I mean, just tell the truth. A lot of you want to talk to me about your financial skills. It's unimportant. It has nothing to do with this now. Your sales skills, your marketing skills, your technical skills, your background, your knowledge, your financial skills. I'll tell you, there's only one thing that matters right now. Your people skills. That's it. Nothing else. That's it. So now people are saying, well, what should I do? You should start calling your top 50 clients personally starting today. And then the next 50, next 50, next 50. My top of the table MDRT study group, they reached out to me 3 weeks ago and said, could you do a call? We're going to have to do some scripting here. We've got to call our top clients. I've got guys in that group and gals with hundreds of clients. And I got an email Monday from one guy, and he said, my partner and I, who's his wife, we've been on the phone. We've talked to over 300 of our clients. We got another 315 to go, but we're not going to quit because we got it. And people are so grateful that we called. I mean, you got to think about where people are today. People are freaked out. They're in their homes. They're locked up. Kumo's telling you it's going to be the end of April. It's not going to be the end of April. It's probably going to be the end of May. So just think about 11 weeks trapped in your house with 2 kids and your spouse who's nervous or unemployed or whatever the case might be, or the business owner who's trying to figure out how he's going to make payroll. Even if it goes in the SBA loan, the fund transfer is not for 14 to 21 business days. Look how many people today, we doubled nearly the number of people on unemployment. We have to start thinking from their point of view. And that's where people are. They need an outside voice to talk to, a counselor. Neil was right, someone that'll be their sounding board. Now the challenge is this crap that's getting posted all over the internet and these companies are sending out about calling people and asking them how they're doing. I mean, I would just suggest to all of you, you know how people are doing. You know how they're doing. What kind of a rhetorical, nonsensical question is that? You already know. And then we follow, well, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, things are volatile, things are tough on all of us, but we're going to be fine. Okay, keep your chin up. A nonsensical, non-meaning question. Your first statement, and as I said, I've been through this 4 times. And in 2008, I worked with one firm. We sold millions of dollars worth of life insurance. I worked with the Wirehouse. We took in $2.7 billion the first month and $4.4 billion the second month from 2 competitors. Why? Because people weren't calling their clients. So we jumped right on that. Your first statement needs to be fully empathetic. So Neil, I'll role play with you. You don't have to say anything, but this will keep it contextual with you. And by the way, don't worry about taking notes. I'm going to send a full transcript of this entire call in printed form to Neil, and he'll be distributing it to you. So you'll actually have these emotional triggers that I'm going to talk about. So hi, Neil. Thanks for taking my call during this very difficult time for everyone. Now listen, what are you and your family doing to stay safe through all of this? And you're going to engage in a dialogue. They're going to tell you, but stand by, the emotion will flow out of them like crazy. Now, Tom, I know you're muted, but I'll just ask you, I know I did a call for your group the other day. Would you agree with me that people absolutely pour out emotion with that statement because you've been using it? Is that correct?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I had a guy that I would call more of a policyholder than client, but it happened to be his birthday, and I do actually call him, sing happy birthday.
Yeah.
So I was just talking to him, and I said, how are you guys, what are you guys doing to keep yourself safe? How can I be of help? And by the end of the conversation, somebody who was was really policyholder ended up confiding in me that he goes, hey, listen, I want to let you know that I appreciate the call. You're the only one, you're my only advisor that has called. And he goes, I just want to let you know that you're actually a very small portion of my overall portfolio. And he told me, he didn't tell me his exact net worth, but he did end up telling me he had 14 houses and that I'm going to be the guy he's sitting with when this is all over. So Richard, it's exact words that I used was yours. So I owe that appointment or future appointment to you.
Oh, Tom, no, I just say you owe it to yourself because you executed. Some people are on this call, they're multitasking, it's all crap. The truth of the matter is you engage with people and get the emotion to flow out now at the front of the call. Then you can talk about their policies. You can talk about their annuities. You can talk about their investment holdings, but you can't do it if you don't get the emotion out in the front. And when they're all done, Neil, I would say this, Neil, this is also unprecedented with so many factors influencing markets and companies, insurance companies. However, the most important thing is we're staying top of everything that could affect your insurance company, your insurance policy, your annuity, your DI policy, and if you're licensed, your retirement plan. So Neil, what questions do you have? What you do with that seconds that we're also unprecedented with many markets that said the most important thing is staying on top of anything that impact your financial objectives. That statement immediately psychologically gives them emotional support, meaning it's significant. And what happens is then when you bring forward, so Neil, what questions do you have? Now they're giving you a less emotional response. They may not have any real questions, as the case that Tom just mentioned, where the guy's a policy holder, but the bottom line, the fact that he called him, and by the way, we've been tracking this. We've talked to almost 200 consumers, and it looks like right now about a little less than 30% of them have heard from anybody. Anybody. I'm telling you, it's going to be never mind. It's going to be nuts. Now, when people start telling you, well, I'm concerned about the mutual fund you put me in, or this particular stock, or I'm concerned about my insurance company, you know, is a Penn Mutual going to make it, or Mass Mutual going to make it, or Guardian, or whomever you place most of your business with, or they're going to ask you about annuity. Don't answer the question. Just listen to not listen to just reply. You try to reply, you're going to go down a rat hole. Well, let me tell you about that annuity. You'll spend 5 minutes on it, but that listen, you're going to be on full defense mode. Full defense. What you want to do is just make notes. Okay, you're concerned about that annuity? Okay, and that one too, and that mutual fund, got it. And you're concerned about whether, in fact, that New York Life's going to make it? Okay, let me make a note of that. And you're concerned about what? Athene? Okay, and you got, oh, that's it, you have an annuity with Lincoln? All right, let me write that down. And then when you're all done, now's your golden moment. Well, thank you, Neil. I understand, hear you clearly. So let's review. Now, hear these words. Let's review what your objectives are and the plan we crafted together. The whole objective of your call should be to focus people on the future, not on the now. As long as we keep counting respirators and masks, and Kumo talks about it on TV, the country is never going to move forward. We have to focus that's our job now, to be their counselor, to move them forward. So the objectives, what your objectives are, forward focus, and the plan we crafted together. All my psychology majors, you know, as soon as you hear that, probably chuckle. Yes, that's right. Structure and belonging and mutuality. That's what people want to hear. They want to hear they're in this together. The only people they're talking to are their friends and family who are commiserating how miserable their life and how much stress they're under. So, you know, Neil, you said you wanted to have enough money to retire worry-free. Great. That's one of the reasons you bought whole life. You bought the annuity. So based on what you want to accomplish, here's what I'm doing for you. And then talk about it. Maybe you're looking at the companies where they have their annuity, or the insurance company where they have their life and DI policy, or if you're licensed, maybe the mutual fund. And whatever questions they had, as you mentioned each topic, answer the question and move forward. But make sure that you close the call by saying, we're benchmarking where you are with your objectives. Any changes need to be made, we'll make them for you. Now, we feel the market's going to come back. We feel the economy is going to come back. The insurance companies are going to stay strong. And, you know, everything's going to rebound. But and everybody's saying on TV, don't panic. But here's what I'm going to say to you, Neil. Neil, you're not just an account with me. You're not just a policy holder. You're an individual, and you have objectives. And I'm focused on those objectives so I can mitigate your risk and keep you on track. And the good news is because we had your objectives so clearly spelled out. You wanted to give to charity. You want to make sure your family was protected. You want to have enough money to retire. Before all this began, we're constantly assessing risk, and this is the real reason why you chose me as your advisor. I get emails from advisors say, you know what people say? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then when you're done with that statement, just say, now, Neil, what other questions do you have? And you know what you're going to hear? It's not going to be questions about products that you sold them. It's going to be expressions of gratitude. I'm so glad that you called. I'm getting emails. Some people are breaking down, crying on the phone. I can't believe you called me. I got an email from a guy in Orange County, California. I did a call for him last week. He talked to his biggest client. And, you know, he's got an investment license. Guy's got 13 million with him, but he's got 12 million a whole life, almost all paid up. Older guy. He said, what questions do you have? The guy started to cry. He said, you have 3 children at home, your wife, and here you are calling me? How? What? I can't believe you took the time to call me. That guy's not going anywhere. Nobody's going to move that account, not in 100 years. And then when you're done, and after they're done emoting, just simply say, Neil, what else can I do to help you and your family right now? Personalize and humanize the call. And most people are going to say, no, I'm fine, etc. But then bring up what you do for a living. And one other thing, Neil, how's your cash on hand for expenses right now? And a lot of people are hurting. Yesterday was not April Fool's. Yesterday, the rent was due. Equipment rent, office rent, apartment rent, housing rent. Some people didn't have the money and don't. You say, well, they've given us a bypass here for 90 days. That's not even the point. People are going to get laid off if they don't have the money. Ask about their cash on hand. If it's a business owner, it could be tight. And then remind them, look, you've got a lot of cash value built up inside your whole life insurance policy. Or maybe they've got money in their investment account that you're managing for them. Bring it up, and people will be grateful. And then just close the call. Never forget to. This is why I'm your advisor. Give you guidance and insight based on your financial objectives. Here's my cell phone. Always feel welcome to call. I am here for you. That's it. And if you do that, it changes the game. Now, I'm getting some emails from people. Well, Richard, some people, I had a guy yesterday. Well, I won't mention the company, but I had a guy yesterday, and he's like, well, not everybody's taking our call. I said, well, how many calls have you made? Well, I've made 4. Well, I wouldn't call that exactly what I would call a survey. But in any case, I said, well, people may be out for a walk. They may be changing the baby's diaper or whatever. Leave them a message. He said, well, I did. I told them to call me back. We need to talk about their financial situation. I was like, say what now? Well, I told them I need to talk to them about their financial situation. I said, okay, this is like the nurse calling from the doctor's office. Hi, George, your test results are in. The doctor wants to see you right away. People go nuts. They go nuts. And I told them, anybody got that message? First thing, to turn on CNBC to see if the market is down to 0 yet. Don't leave though. Look, hi, Tom, this is Richard Weylman. Hope you and the family are staying safe and healthy. Please call me back. I want to review a few things we are doing in this extraordinarily difficult time to keep you on target with your financial objectives. Give them an aspirational call. That's what people need today, aspiration. Move them forward in their thinking. Here's my cell phone. You and Brenda give me a call back. And they're calling back. Now, I'm getting emails, is this a good time to prospect? I will tell you, this is an amazing opportunity, the likes of which I've never seen in all my years in this industry. And I'll tell you, it's worked magically even for our firm. You should call every single prospect you've had for the last 10 years. And just call them on the phone. And I want you to listen to these words because the emotional relational trigger is there. Hi, George. Thanks for taking my call during this difficult time. Hey, listen, I know I'm not the advisor you normally hear from. However, what's that immediately going to make him think? Well, I haven't even heard from my guy. It's the first thing they think. Or if they had, it was one of those how's it going calls. I'm not the advisor you normally think of, but I've been thinking about you and want to know what, not how, what you and your family are doing to stay safe through all this, and they are going to pour it out. And then you simply say, well, Tom, given all that's happening in the financial sector, if you got any questions, I'm here for you. And they're going to have questions, at least the emails I'm getting from advisors. They're so like, boy, people just want to do a dump many times on their own advisor. Fine, but don't you dare comment. Don't say, oh, well, I would have called you. Don't say that, because just listen. Any communication that tells people are wrong when they're under emotional stress and they feel alone will not be received. And more importantly, they'll resent it, and you'll never get across the bridge to them. This is the time to build a bridge with them relationship. Let them talk about their questions and why they think or thought they were right. And then close the call. Well, Tom, I'm glad we talked. And if you have any concerns, feel welcome to call me. If I can help you and your family personalize and humanize, here's my cell phone number. And then I got an email the other day from a guy who said, well, I don't have their prospect. I don't have my prospect's current numbers. So I sent them all an email. Would you like to schedule a call to talk about your investment? I mean, what? What is that? I think, people don't even open that. Even if they did, there's one answer. No. Send them an email that says, are you and the family okay? That's a subject line. Everybody's going to open that one. But George, I know I'm not the advisor, and this is the body of I'll send this to you. Just put it in the body and put your cell phone number on there. I stopped counting yesterday at 11. I had at least 11 advisors sent me back and said, Richard, I sent that email out because I didn't have their number. And when I sent to the prospect, I'm not the advisor you normally hear from, but et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I want to know if your family's safe through all of this. These prospects started calling my cell and said, I'm so glad I haven't heard from anybody. I don't know about how you feel about it, but that's pretty cool. So 3 summary points and I'll let you go. The first is live communication is absolutely critical. Call your top 50, next 50, next 50, next 50. Second, be curious. Don't say, how are you doing? Or do you have any questions? Give them an open-ended, open-faced question. What questions do you have? As I said, people are afraid, and they're afraid of what they don't know. They're afraid of what's going on, and rightly so. So these conversations right now, as I said earlier, is about your people skills. So you've got to open up your own mind. Don't assume you know what they're thinking or how they're doing. Give them the opportunity to engage with you, because that engagement drives relationships. And in time, that relationship will drive revenue. And the third point is make sure you reassure your clients you're doing everything you can to keep them on track to their financial goals or get the inside cash buildup they need in their life insurance policy, or no matter what happens, their family's protected, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe how it's going to affect their current or retirement lifestyle. That's what people are concerned about. But don't give them blanket answers. Personalize and humanize every discussion. And here's the point. Here's the only 3 words that people have in their head right now. Am I okay? That's all they care about. Am I okay? And you're the counselor. You're my gal. You're my guy. Call them all. Because now's the time to develop your relationship skills even further, your new client acquisition skills. Make no mistake, this new household acquisition war is about to start. It's going to be ugly. So with that said, I'll also mention this to you, and I've asked Neil and he's agreed. I have a performance tip I send out to about 30-some thousand advisors get it, not just the people that are members of our university. And a little over 30,000 get it. And I send it out every week, and it's always specific to where we are now. 2 weeks ago, after I had my MDRT top of the table study group, they were like, I wish we could stay in touch with people. I said, cool, we can do that. So what I did is I put together a list of 14 virtual events you can do with your clients. I have no idea. My inbox was jammed, but I'm going to tell you about 2. And one is this girl in Lafayette, Louisiana. She got it on Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I came in. She had sent me an email. Richard, this was magic. I did a virtual book club right off your list. I sent an email out to all of my clients. We're going to have a virtual book club tonight at 7 o'clock. Get online on Skype with me. Share the book you're reading and invite people at your business, at your office, and friends and family. She had 23 clients sign up within the hour. She had 61 people on the call. The rest of them were all prospects. They were thrilled. So she's going to do another one. The next one she's going to do is a virtual cocktail party on Friday, this coming Friday night. People get on, share, here's the cocktail I'm drinking, and make it fun for everybody. I've got a guy in Washington, D.C., young guy, he's 27 years old, just not that long in the business, only got about 35 clients. He's doing a magic show. Tom, Lloyd, he's in Lloyd's agency. And so when I did the Q&A, he was like, Richard, that virtual list, that freaked me out. First thing I thought, I could do a magic show for my clients. They all got kids. I'm a young guy, and most of his clients are, young people with families. He said, I'll just do a magic show. So he did exactly what I told him to do in the email. He reached out to the Magicians Club there. He's got 9 magicians that have volunteered and said, we'd love to do a magic show for kids. So he's got them scheduled Tuesday morning and Thursday morning, 8 o'clock to 8:30. 2 magicians each to do close hand. Got 131 households signed up. Tell me if that's going to help his business. Look, now's the time. Now's the time. I got an email from a guy the other day. He said, well, I have a remarkable practice. I looked at his social media. I went back to him. I said, you may have a remarkable practice, but I can tell you it's not remark worthy. That's the only way you're going to break through now. So how much time have I got? I have exactly 1 minute. Neil, I'm looking at the chat. I don't see, I'm looking at one of the best way to help you understand is okay, all right. Can you give us ideas on scripting you've done with other advisors? Yes, Jared, and I'm going to send this to you. Everything I've talked about today, full scripts on how to engage with clients, how to engage with prospects. Many of the things I talked about today, I'm going to send that to Neil. And Neil, give me a little running room here. I'm back to back till 7 tonight, but when I get a little minute, I'll send it to you, Neil. And then
Sounds great.
And I'll send you the virtual list too, if you like. Would that be okay? Of all these different events?
Fantastic. Listen,
Right.
Okay.
really appreciate you coming on board and
My pleasure. One more thing I'm going to
We
say
all
to you.
need the motivation and the pep talk and
Yeah, no, okay,
and this
Neil,
is
let
a
me just
crazy
say
world.
this.
Hey,
Let me say this to all of you. I was born in Rochester, New York. My mother died when I was 5. My dad died when I was 6. I lived in 19 foster homes all over Rochester, Monroe County. I lived in 19 foster homes, went to 11 different schools.
Wow.
Now, I'm just going to tell you this. My father didn't buy any insurance. People say, oh, he didn't care about his family. No, you know why people don't buy insurance?
I don't know.
Because nobody's ever asked them to. I'm going to tell you, whole life insurance sales are going to explode. If 2008 model is any indication, and I think it's going to be far more excessive than that, because they can build up inside cash value, they can help protect themselves against the egregious taxes that are put on estates, and they're going to move to annuities because people have learned a lesson here. It's a tough one, but the bottom line is you are the guide. You're the light at the end of the tunnel. So the Lord bless you and keep you. Thanks so much for being on the call. Tom, thanks for reaching out. Neil,
Richard,
thanks
thank
for
you.
being a magical host. God bless you all
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Yep. Bye
Nice
for now.
job.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Great job, Richard.
Yep,
Okay,
thank you.
guys, listen, any questions at all, feel free to contact us. Again, Larry has posted the meeting that they're having at 12, which is really sales ideas about the new act coming out, the new tax act. There's a lot of things coming out. There's some things that came out last week about they're allowing people to take early retirement without 10% penalty up to $100,000. They can defer the taxes over 3 years. They can buy life insurance with it. You have the Secure Act, which forcing people to take money out over 10 years. You can take an immediate annuity income stream or another and can buy life insurance. The world's wide open. Let's go. Let's all make some money and have some fun. Thanks again.
Neil,
you,
great
Pete.
job.
Thank you.
Take
Thanks,
care,
guys.
everybody. Great meeting.
Be well, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.